hate you. I hate you for doing this to me, Christian. Why can't you just answer the questions?
Oh, you're costing me my weight loss surgery and you're ruining everything!
Ay, 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 ay. We are in for a long ride. Hello beasties and welcome back to the lair. Today, I'll try not to lose it with Maja here. Let's just beast it. This is Maja Radanovic. She is 33 and weighs about 690 pounds in this video. Of course, this is an older episode of my 600 pound life, but I'll be using present tense for the most part. Anyways, she lives with Christian, her boyfriend, who she is very dependent on due to her weight. But how did she get here? I'm glad you asked. The short answer is that Maja is an addict.
In our culture, basically, to show love is to have a lot of food on hand. And if a child wanted to eat, you gave them a piece of food or a piece of meat or a piece of sausage.
So I always had something to eat. And my favorite times were when we had these large family feasts with all my relatives.
She's always eaten more than she needed from a tender age. I mean, both her parents were obese back then already, and on top of that, they both mistreated Maja because of her weight. Even after they divorced. The irony, seriously. After the divorce, Maja's father remarried, had a new family and abandoned Maja. As to her mother, well, she already despised her and it didn't get better as she grew up. Well, it did a bit after her mother had a stroke, but it wasn't really that good of a relationship between the two, really. Anyways, food became Maja's poison very early on, and it got to the point where it totally controlled her. She sneaks out to eat and doesn't tell Christian at all.
With Christian, he doesn't know when I go to get food because I get dressed to go out and I tell him it's for errands, but it's a lie because the only thing I'm going to do is eat. And I'm worried about what Christian would think of me if he knew how much I actually ate. So I just try to hide it and go out on my own.
If she lies every day to eat in secret, what else do you think she lies about?
I'll go to 2, 3, 4 places. But the first meal is always the most important one because I always get what I'm craving first. There's no words for that feeling when you taste something you love. It's incredible. But it feels like that meal is gone in a second. So I move on to the next things I'm craving. My life completely revolves around food. When I'm going to get it, how I'm going to get it, how much I'm going to get, it never stops. And it's been that way for so long now because food has been the only reliable constant in my life.
Maja decided to lose weight so she and Christian will have children and a future. So she makes it to Dr. Now in Houston, Texas from Portland, Oregon. And this is where things stop being friendly. You see, up to this point, you might have felt inclined to feel sorry for Maja, didn't you? Well, you shouldn't. On the morning of their trip to Houston, she and Christian had a fight and her true self shone through.
Do you think they have urgent care and stuff down there I can go to?
Maybe. I'll take a look online to see if it's a third world country.
I'm getting really stressed out, Christian. Don't need your attitude.
And just a few seconds earlier, she was talking about Christian as the best relationship of her life.
So I tried to get back out there and I got on a dating website and that's when I met Christian, who's been the best relationship I've ever had with anyone.
Here the part that I forgot to mention earlier. Christian at first was very loving and supporting. Even when she'd abuse him, he would still stick by her and try to help her. But listen, anyone's patience wears thin eventually. All her nagging and snapping soured their relationship on top of her secrecy and continuous weight gain. But somehow, according to her, Christian does not try and ease the enemy.
I don't feel like he's taking any of this seriously at all. I'm just trying to keep as calm as I can and work up the courage to do this. So a little help would go a long way right now.
Really?
I need my phone, please.
Where's your phone?
In my purse. I need to check my flight.
Where's your purse?
Christian, really?
I don't know where
Get
your
off
purse.
your phone.
I don't know where your purse
Be
is.
a part of this.
Where the is your purse? Your
It's
purse
right
is
next to you. I left it right next to you.
Your purse is not right here.
And then when Christian finally brings her her purse, she snatched it from him with such aggression. She's a bully. And despite all that, even though we can clearly see that Christian's patience has worn out in this relationship, the man is still trying to help her. Listen, a lot of women lose good men because they are their own enemies. Now, I don't know Christian more than what's shown to us about him and what Maja described him as when she talked sweet about him, but I'm going to assume he's a good man. Maja was engaged before Christian and she said the relationship failed because she could not give him children due to her weight. I wasn't there, but I will assume this was a lie. She could have tried to lose weight then, but she did not. So she was not interested in having children then. After the few seconds interactions with Christian and her behavior toward him, I have already concluded that she was the same way in that previous relationship and then blamed the man for being the bad one, pushing him away until he left. I mean, look at her. She's shooting herself on the foot consistently but blames Christian for her own self-inflicted pains. And it gets worse. The trip to Houston was very uncomfortable for Maja, obviously. I mean, whoever claims that being 600 and plus pounds is healthy is clearly lying. Maja can do any basic things that a person of a normal weight would. The 4+ hours spent crammed in that plane alone could have killed her. After getting off the plane, she had to sit again because everything hurts. And here's another thing with Maja. When things start to get rough, she starts blaming everybody and anything but herself. For instance, the airport became a problem for being too big. I kid you not.
This is so much more walking than I even realized I was going to have to do. And how far everything is really frustrating because I called both the airports before I left and asked them about how far everything was and how much walking there was.
And I'm upset right now because my legs hurt and the lady lied to me about how far it was because I would have made other arrangements for me to get here if I knew how far it was.
First of all, the airport lady that she called beforehand could not have known exactly how far it would have been for Maja to walk around in the airport. Gets changed, and so do the ramps at the luggage claim, and if Maja had mentioned her obesity and actual condition, she would have gotten a wheelchair and other accommodations. But no, she withheld information and now, out of malice, is blaming the airport lady for her own shortcoming. Then, the car rental company reserved a regular sedan instead of an SUV for them. And Maja is livid and mad at them. I mean, with what we know about her so far, how do we know she didn't omit to mention her weight or the type of vehicle that she needed? Plus, this is a big airport. Come on, we're talking about the George Bush Intercontinental Airport, a big airport. Meaning, there are more than one rental car companies in there. If one does not have the right size vehicle, cancel the reservation and go to another that has better accommodations. Dude, even the Melbourne-Orlando International Airport, which is a micro airport, has more than one car rental companies. At least 3.
Ow.
Are you gonna fit?
Oh, Christian. No, I can't get up. I'm scared.
Don't be scared.
Please.
Come on.
Hang on. Hang on. Help me. Oh, I can't. Hang on. I can't. I have to go down. I can't.
She can't fit in a freaking car. So, at the end, the same rental company found them a bigger vehicle after Maja knew the smaller one would not work, but went to embarrass herself anyways to blame it on everybody else afterwards. Make it make sense. She's a manipulator, something that's typical of all addicts. Eventually, Maja and Christian make it to Dr. Now's office, and when asked about her eating habits, Maja is as vague as she possibly can be, because in Maja's head, her weight is not due to her eating habits.
Okay then, how do you think you got to this weight?
Probably large portions and not exercising.
Okay, so you tell me that's it? Just large portions and limited activity? Nothing else?
No.
Okay.
Dr. Now accepted her into his program and gave her the challenge to lose 100 pounds in the following 2 months as she'd maintain a 1200 calorie diet. I suspect Maja may have BED or binge eating disorder. She eats alone and in secret, not even with Christian when she does not sneak out. And I wish she would have mentioned it to Dr. Now, but she kept that information in as she was lying to him about her eating habits. At her second visit with Dr. Now, Maja lost 93 pounds. Good job! Good job. She is approved for weight loss surgery, provided she and Christian move to Houston and she continues to lose more weight. So, that was a major step forward. As Maja and Christian finally moved to Houston, Maja only lost 9 pounds in 1 month. She makes more excuses for her lack of trying, and Dr. Now cancels the weight loss surgery at least until she loses another 50 pounds. And then this happens.
I have to lose more weight now.
This is your fault.
I hate you. I hate you for doing this to me, Christian.
You're costing me my weight loss surgery and you're ruining everything.
Okay, let me connect myself a moment. Christian does not like it in Houston, and by that point, their relationship is very strained. Maja stopped making progresses because she went back to her old ways with her addiction. But somehow it is Christian's fault, and he is the one who caused her weight loss surgery. Do you see how addicts operate? And wait, there's more. As she throws her tantrum, Maja calls her mother on Christian. Yeah, you heard that right. And then she forces him to talk to her mother, and together with her mother, they try to get Christian into staying with her. Textbook addict right there. She put herself in her situation. She is the one eating herself to death, sneaks out to eat more, is abusive to her boyfriend, and tries to manipulate him and guilt him into doing what she wants, how she wants it. Listen, regardless of your gender, if you find yourself in a relationship that looks like this one, please leave. Seek all the help possible to get out because this is not healthy. Relationships with addicts are negative to all parties involved and can end in death for both parties. And check this out. It is estimated that substance use is a factor in about 40 to 60% of cases of intimate partner violence. And violence here is not just physical. It can also be emotional, psychological, and or sexual. In this episode, we've seen Maja's anger swell as her relationship with Christian deteriorated. And this is typical with addicts, which can make things turn lethal very quickly. Even in this previous scene alone, we witnessed a lot of red flags. We had victimization. This happened when Maja threw the blame on Christian for costing her her weight loss surgery. It was also a manipulation and gaslighting move. We had enabling behavior in Maya's mother.
I know you've gone way above and beyond, and I know living with Maya, I'm sure it's not easy. But if you could just cooperate a little bit longer, I don't see how it's going to hurt you, and it will benefit her. And as a person, wouldn't you help somebody on the street?
She knew her child's situation and how much help she needs, but instead to talk sense into her so she would get serious about her own situation and actually getting help, the mother banded with Maya to gaslight and manipulate Christian into staying with Maya, as if him staying even made a difference for her health. We saw it. He tried everything to help, but she still sabotaged herself. We also saw Maya's codependency to Christian. At this point, the relationship was one-sided. Let's not kid anyone. Maya kept clinging to something that did not exist anymore, and she tried to control Christian as best as possible.
Talk to my mom. Christian, Mom, put it on. It's on speakerphone.
Even that phone call to her mother and she forcing Christian to speak to her and activating the speaker mode to force him to talk to her mother was Maya asserting control on Christian. This control was also seen in her getting in Christian's way, preventing him to leave and therefore holding him against his will to force him to talk with her mother. So Christian did what was best for him and left. He wasn't happy in that relationship anymore, and despite his unhappiness and everything she put him through, he still kept trying to be there for her, but nothing he did was ever enough or even noticed. He saved himself.
And why are you choosing to leave before I got the surgery date, 2 weeks before rent's due, before any of my family members are here, and you're abandoning me? Why are you choosing to do all of that right now?
Maya did try to manipulate him again into staying with her, even gaslighting him, but the camel's back was broken already. Christian was true, and there was no turning back. There is a big difference between asking for help and accepting it. Maya clearly needs help, but she is not yet ready to accept it, as she is not honest to begin with. She lies, makes herself a victim of and in all situations, is selfish, manipulates others, and then she is the first one to cry when all those actions bring consequences. Remember, hurt people hurt people. Maya was already hurt and broken from a young age, and I believe lashing out and manipulating others were a way for her to protect herself and feel some type of control in her life. Control that she may have felt she lost when her parents divorced. Maya may also have some abandonment issues, and every time someone leaves or a relationship fails, her brain may interpret it as loss of control, and turning to food is the illusion that food is the one thing in her life that she has control over. But sadly, it is the other way around. The biggest thing that will set Maya on the right path is therapy, first and foremost. Inpatient treatment will even be better. I believe she may have more than one disorder on top of the BED, possibly even BPD or borderline personality disorder. But hey, I'm no psychologist and not qualified to diagnose anyone. I'm purely observing what's in front of my eyes and make the recommendations as deemed fit. Plus, growing up in all type of abuse that you could imagine, and which also left me with a fair share of mental illnesses of my own, I do recognize a few things here and there in other broken people. How many traumas, repressed feelings and emotions, and addiction, as well as anything else that resulted from the traumas, need to be addressed before she is ready to change her lifestyle and lose weight, then keep it off. Unless this happens, every time she tries to lose weight, she might succeed, but only temporarily, and she will gain the weight back and possibly more. More recent uploads of Maja's pictures on social media show amazing improvement on her appearance and health, and reports say that she lost enough weight to receive weight loss surgery. She hasn't said how much exactly she's lost so far, but up to 200 pounds would not be a bad guess. She has not reached her goal weight yet, but we can only wish her well on her journey. Like the video if you enjoyed it, dislike if you didn't. Be a beast, train mean.